Welcome to Sports Scope, the most influential sports talk show in the nation.
What is today, the 19th?
Stay tuned for updates and great sports content.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Scope. I'm your host, Robert Butler, on this 10th day of July here. Big 10 media days. Or is it Big 12? Excuse me. Big 12 media days with Colorado's Deion Sanders. Already seems really frustrated, kind of getting a hint that he's not going to be there next year. I'll play some sound bites for that. Good stuff there. And I'll tell you, this Hard Knocks is the gift that keeps on giving for sports talk show hosts like myself, especially ones that want to emphasize on the NFL. A lot of stuff there. Brian DeMall, very impressive. Got some back and forth there on Malik Neighbors. They showed whiteboard meetings with quarterbacks, college draftable quarterbacks. Remember, they had the 6th pick. They had Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jalen Daniels in there. Got some soundbite from that, and I got a few comments there. More on that. I will talk about that. Now, I have scheduled, her name is Tempe Ann Lewis. I've sent her trainer out of Tampa I've been telling you about. Now, she has not got back to me. I get a sense that either she forgot or maybe she just don't want to feel like doing it. Some people, they think about something like this and they get a little shy at the end. That's okay. Or she simply may have forgot. I doubt she's going to come on. I've got her scheduled. I've sent her the link. I have not heard back from her in 3 hours. But if she does come on, I've got her some questions. If she does not come on, there's a few other topics there. There's some little tidbit about Michael Parsons I want to get to, and more, of course, my favorite topic of the last few weeks since March, Caitlin Clark here. So I may be able to get on to that as well. Okay. All right. So first, let's take our first and only break. I'll be back here. A few more quick announcements, and we will hit the ground running here on Sports Scope. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to sports, that is sports with an S, another S, scope, SKOPE, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program. Then, okay. Can't post comments to some destinations. Folks, if you're watching me on the Facebook app, and if you type in something and I do not answer it, that means I cannot see it. I will answer every single question that comes on there, not unless it gets overwhelming. Go to the Real Sports Scope YouTube app. Go to the Real Sports Scope YouTube app, just like it looks at the top of your screen. And I could definitely get the comments there from the Real Sports Scope if Facebook has not been showing up here lately. Go figure, right? Also, I want to announce that tomorrow I will play the Scott Morgenroth interview, talk about his book. He's 40 years in sports writing, sports talk. Very good interview. Very good insight on the NFL, on Tua, on the Miami Dolphins. We talk about the Detroit Lions. Scott's originally from Michigan, lives down, I think he said Scott lives down in Deerfield. What is it called? The South Florida Tribune, of course, that's his website here. down in Deerfield Beach, Florida, there in South Florida area. Check that out. That will be replayed tomorrow. So I may have Carlos on the Mad New Yorker on Friday. If he decides to come on Thursday, he hasn't got back to me either. People are real busy. It's summertime. We'll record it tomorrow, and that'll be played Friday too. So got a great show, got a great lineup with you. No matter what happens, doing my job, I've learned to have backup plans and being able to react on the fly, folks. So anyways, all right, now let's start here. Hard Knocks was really good. And if you listen to what I'm about to play, if I'm Daniel Jones, if this doesn't motivate Daniel Jones with the Giants by watching what you're seeing at Hard Knocks, what the management is doing there and the coaching staff and Brian DeBall, he's the head coach there, Joe Sheehan, nothing will. The talk about the other quarterbacks, the bringing in the other quarterbacks, you're seeing it on TV. We know this is standard operating procedure, SOP, right? But this, I know he's coming back from injury and all that, but he should be motivated like nobody's business. Okay. But anyways, all right. Now, I mentioned earlier this week, Malik Neighbors. There's a video of him on the internet of him. Looked like probably several $1,000s in cash and like some kind of strip club or something like that, partying, living it up. Nothing crime against that, but it's just one of those possible red flags at a future time or whatnot. So I'm going to play some sound bites, and you could tell this in the scouting report. I've also got some sound bites of them talking and interviewing Neighbors. It's a great player, not a good player, but a great player. And just kind of give you a heads up on that. But anyways, let's listen to the scouting report on him. And the GMs and the assistants are like, yeah, this dude is something here. Listen up. Kind of a backhanded compliment. Compliment on Malik Neighbors.
LSU. Yeah, Malik, highly passionate, highly competitive kid, loves football. He will train hard, plays with a big-time chip on his shoulder. He's a guy that always won the most targets. You'll hear about it. If he's not getting his targets, we need to get around this kid and see if we can work with him. It's a very spot-to personality.
Targets, you're going to hear about it if he don't get his targets. Now, he's an LSU guy, explosive player. Reminds me a little bit of Jamar Chase, also an LSU guy. And I'm going to play another bite here on Neighbors where they interview him. The ball peppering him with questions, And I tell you what, the ball, he's a very – no really other way. He's very, very cocksure of himself. Very almost arrogant guy. But he's got a well of a resume. I didn't know he's worked with Brett Favre. He's worked with Tua. He's worked with Jalen Hurts at Alabama. We know he's worked with Josh Allen. And he's very sure of himself. Kind of reminds me of Andy Reid, but a little bit more on the arrogant side. But listen to him pepper Malik Neighbors with questions here. And there's some good ones. Listen up.
And don't lose it. Be straight. Not at all. I hate losing one and I love winning. Okay. And then how do you handle not
I can see it, Chad. Awesome.
Early in the game? How do I handle it? Yeah. I handle it pretty tough. Especially, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, this is Malik Neighbors, and head coach of the Giants. It's so awesome. I'm so glad. Chad, I really hope that you are on Facebook. But you're on YouTube, ain't you? Man, I was hoping you'd be on
Getting in the
Facebook.
offense, we putting in the work with the one offense, getting a lot of plays, known to be called for me. So if I'm not in those plays and not getting the ball, I'm pretty hard on it.
I don't mind that. I want guys that want to get the ball, and I want guys that hate fucking losing. But you got to learn how to harness that a little bit.
Right.
I don't mind a competitive fucking juice, man. That's what you need, some dogs.
Right.
I want guys that want the ball.
Yes.
Sometimes you lose. I mean, shit, I lose it too as a coach, but I got to learn how to harness that good.
Gotcha.
What's your best trait?
Yeah, harness that good, and obviously they liked him enough to draft him. Yeah. I was thinking my chats didn't go through. I think on Facebook what I'm going to have to do, and I'm going to do this probably by Monday, is I'm going to get the page up and running, the Real Sports Scope, make a new page, and I think it'll stream better through that. Right now, I'm just having problems with Facebook. I've undownloaded it, re-downloaded it, and it's still not working. Oh, well. Again, folks, if you're watching me on Facebook and you want to chat with me, tune in to the Sports Scope YouTube app there. So you could see there is a hesitation there. There is a little bit of hesitation about him being a diva, and he is a diva. A lot of the great ones are. He's a diva. The guy is without a doubt. He's a diva, but he is a lot like Odell Beckham. He is a lot like Jamar Chase. He may be the most explosive guy. He might not be the most consistent. It's probably going to be Marvin Harrison. But on Dunze, this is a very good top end, in my opinion, wide receiver draft class. Rome Odunze from Washington, who went to the Bears, who's going to get a lot of open looks. And Malik Neighbors, really, really explosive player out of LSU. A big play guy, blazing speed, catch the ball in traffic, coming from a great pedigree in LSU, obviously, and then, of course, Harrison, who looked unstoppable his sophomore year, didn't have the play at quarterback, although when they were interviewing him, he didn't take any shots at his other quarterback. Elite route runner, probably going to be the most consistent, like his dad was. Invite, I will do, Chad. Will do, buddy. Thank you. Of course, one of my best listeners here. Okay, so now we're getting to the quarterback interviews. These are not the interviews. These are whiteboard cram sessions, or whatever you want to call it. This is what got Baker Mayfield drafted number 1. Very good at the whiteboard. This is what got Jalen Daniels out of LSU. Not only a good quarterback, but he's a humble guy, and he's got a good memory, and he was good at the whiteboard. Drake May, who Rich Eisen of NFL Network, he's still with NFL Network, claimed that he had multiple sources saying that they did everything under the sun to get up to 3 to get Drake May, but they couldn't. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Listen to Brian Daboll drill, the head coach there, drill Jalen Daniels at the quarterback meeting at the whiteboard. 31 seconds. Here we go.
Hey, Jay, erase that Z, make him the F. Erase the X and make him the Z. Erase the W and make him the X. Erase the T and make him the H. Ready?
Yep.
Gun trolley right, 64 house X in. Give it back to me. Nope, don't look at it.
Oh, you want me to
Give it back to me how we call it.
the whole play?
Yeah.
Gun Charlie right, house FN,
Okay, X in.
exit.
That's okay. And then if it's cover 1, what do we want you to do? Probably.
Don't touch them.
All right, I like that answer.
Cover 1, that means you only got one safety back there. Yeah, I'm gonna throw a touchdown. I got the arm strength and I got the legs to get out of that pass rush to be able to sling that rock downfield. They like that, and so does he. Okay, that would have been a good one too if they would have found a way to get Jalen Daniels, but that didn't happen. And here is Jalen again towards the end of their conversation, and they ask him on the fly to the ball does, because he likes the guy, on the fly to tell him to recall the play again. This is after several minutes of talking here. That's pretty good. Let me see. I'll make sure I get the right one. 16 seconds. Here we go.
I feel like I'm prepared for anything, but I talk to my family, obviously. That's a big piece for me, my family. I talk to them.
Give me that play call again that I taught you.
Glenn Charlie Wright, 64, House, FN.
Excellent. Okay, good. Boy.
He said, "Attaboy." I mean, you on the ball, man. See, that stuff is hard. It's tough being a quarterback. I mean, it's being a quarterback, you really have to have memorization down. I've watched these things for years and years and years. Even just going through the video of watching guys like, I think it's not Field Yates. I can't remember his name. He was a backup at Houston on Hard Knocks, and he's going through all the checks, all the hots, and he's just saying all this stuff, 22x1. And this sounds like, Chinese arithmetic. And not only do you got to know what you're doing, you got to know what the defense is doing. You got to know how everybody's lined up. You got to know about, do you need to change the formation? Are they going to blitz off on one side? You got to shift protections, and all that's in code. So you got guys up here trying to wing it with their athleticism, your Johnny Manziels of the world. Wouldn't it be funny, Chad, if they had this on film with a guy like Vince Young? I'm not sure if he would have got drafted so high, because he was known as the guy that kind of melts things in, Oh, man. Anyways, okay. So the ball, very impressed. Had the general manager, Joe Sheehan, beside him during that soundbite I was playing you. Here's one with, listen to that. This guy going to Cliff Kingsbury. There's a chance he could have a C.J. Stroud type of rookie year with Washington Commanders. There's a chance. He might not be that good, but there is a chance there. I had 54 touchdowns in college. I mean, he destroyed stats, but he did get hurt. He's a little thin. He's healthy now, but he get hurt in the Alabama game. A little thin, but he could be a really good stat patter there, especially for all of you fantasy players. Not sure about the team, but who knows? Who knows? Listen up here. Also, Drake May, again, the guy who they went high and low to go out and try to bring on the team here, try to get drafted here. Let me see if I can find him on here. Find his, let's see, Hard Knocks Part 2. See if I can find this Drake May soundbite here. Looks like.
I don't lose it.
Be straight.
Okay, that's Neighbors. That's not it. That's also Neighbors.
Gundolphin Wright.
Gundolphin Wright, 72.
Drake May
Tundra,
at the whiteboard.
Gundolphin Wright, 72. Tundra, float, H-angle.
Yes, so Tundra stands for what?
200.
200. So what does slope stand for?
It's got the corner of the app.
Flag. We call it a flag.
Flag.
So
Okay.
we end up saying corner flag, but
Flag, yeah.
And the angle is an angle. You got me on that? Then you use Rita to the right, Linda to the left. It was a flip formation. Good.
Read to the right, Linda to the left.
72, 5-man protection, slide to the will. So if the strength of the formation is right, what formation is that again?
Yeah, Gundolphin Wright.
Yeah, right. He's there. The will's over there. The line would slide there. We'd say 72 Rita.
72 Rita. Gotcha.
So let's say this before you go to the next one. You have one play.
So you could see they were really engaged there with Drake May, and one of the knocks on him, he was an inconsistent guy, a little bit lost out there, but he seemed like he was pretty sharp at that point. And plus, we know that the Patriots liked him at 3. They liked him at 3 so much that they did not want to trade down to 6. Remember, Michael Penix, folks, is still on the board, who ended up going after Tennessee drafted at 7 to 8. Just food for thought there. Food for thought there. Again, Daniel Jones has got to be its own like Donkey Kong, right, Chad? Daniel Jones like, okay, y'all going to put this on TV and you're going to blast me like that? We're going to make it happen. But, hey, it's a competitive business. That's why it pays millions of dollars, you know? I'm just going to check and see if I've got any response from, this lady's not. I seriously doubt she's going to come on. I haven't got anything back from her. But that's okay because I want to talk about Deion. Switching gears here. Deion Sanders, they had the Big 12. They had the Big 12 Media Day in Vegas today. Deion Sanders, Fort Myers, Florida, went to Florida State. Florida guy. Remember, he's made the comment. If you don't know, he's made the comment in the past. Now he's kind of walked it back now that he wants his nobody in northern climates to draft Shooter Sanders, who's got a shot to be a top 5, possibly number 1 overall pick. Schroeder, his son, is playing for Colorado. The first few games, they got that big upset over Nebraska. And who else did they beat? Texas team that was in a national championship game there. TCU. Knocked out TCU early on in the season. If that guy who wasn't trying to do too much, getting rid of the football real quick, if he could progress from that player, which Deion talked about in this press conference today about the offensive line is much better. That was their biggest bugaboo and whatnot. Big things could happen for him. Possibly Heisman conversations, which I'm not sure if he's going to be that dominant or not, but definitely possibly number 1 overall pick. That's a real possibility for Schroeder Sanders. There'll be plenty of takers out there between him and the quarterback from Georgia, possibly, which I think his name is Beck. And then, of course, you've got Quinn Ewers out of Texas, who has got a loaded team and a very good shot at a national championship this year. So, all that being said, right off the bat, he sees the press there, Deion, in the press conference here today, and he looks just kind of like, what? You guys, really? But let me play it for you. Chad says, I can't believe they're sharing on hand, not Hard Knocks. Almost everything seems scripted. Yeah, now this is way better than the regular Hard Knocks. This is just guys talking stuff. It's awesome, man. I really love that. Anyways, let's play some Deion Sanders here, which I just love this. I just love this out of Deion. Because this is I got a bigger point to make here in just a second. Listen up. Deion, right off the bat, as soon as he sits down for today's press conference in Vegas for the Big 12.
All right, we'll have Coach give an opening remark, and then we'll take questions.
Opening remarks, first and foremost, how's everyone doing? Good to see you here. I need a little more energy if you want some energy from me, because this is horrible. If I was in church, I'd get up and walk out right now.
Because he knows if he's in the SEC, he's a big Nick Saban guy, right? Great interview I had yesterday with the Alabama guy, big Alabama fan, Ken Norris. He's also a big fan of Nick Saban and whatnot. This is really he wants that buzz. He wants that sense of urgency. Guys talking over each other to talk about football, and everybody's just real nonchalant, relaxed, happy-go-lucky. I used to live in Laughlin, Nevada. 2006, October 2006, took a job at the Laughlin Times covering that online newspaper and regular newspaper, covering high school and everything and stuff in and around Laughlin, Nevada and Arizona area. And there was a big game coming up in November. It was Ohio State, Michigan. I was talking to people around town about it. A lot of hype on that game. Both teams undefeated. And they just like, do you have something on it or what? Or why are you so excited? I mean, they were just so nonchalant. And just, I'm like, wow, I am not in the South anymore. People really hyped up about college football and pro football here. It's not the same there. It's just, I mean, they like it, but it's just nowhere near. It's levels different. And Deion is used to the big hype, you know, and and here is a guy asking him about culture and whatnot. He gets a little agitated at the end. It's a long, drawn-out question. He don't like to be pushed, Indy. If I'm at that press conference, I'm asking Deion, I'm saying, listen, Deion, okay, what about all those penalties? You're one of the most penalized teams in the country. You're bringing in DJs in pregame, in the locker room, and doing all this stuff. Your son is posting on Instagram while they're at halftime, trying to sell something. I mean, and then you blow that huge lead to Stanford, stuff like that. But these guys want to be buddy-buddy. They're lazy. They're nonchalant. They're not going to ask any of that. This was one a little bit pokey, asking him about culture as if they don't have a winning culture, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Listen up.
You guys, that's what we do, okay? That's how we coming.
All right, final question. Far left side about
Not a question. I'm just having a good time. Now you gotta go.
Final question. He's like, man, these guys, they act like they don't really care about what we're trying to do around here. So he's already irritated that they're not enthused. It's a very short conference, and he knows it's a different animal down in the SEC. But listen up.
Run out of time. We got a shot clock. Joey, did they give you a shot clock?
How you doing, Coach?
How you doing?
Omir Khan, TG Sports here. I have a quick question regarding building a winning culture at CU.
What does that mean? What does a winning culture mean? I want to know what that means, because you got to be a winner to understand what that winning culture means. Everybody want to know about the culture. The culture. What is culture?
To me, culture is day in, day out, putting in the work.
Lifestyle.
On game day.
Lifestyle.
Yep.
Okay.
So progressing in that general area.
I should have said, Nick Saban, what they had at Alabama when he was there, that won 5 national championships. That's what I would have said. He's kind of getting smart with the guy, and I'd have got smart back with him. By the way, folks, if anybody's watching me on Facebook and you want to comment on the program, I'm not getting the message to Facebook. Go over to the YouTube page, like my man Chad heads, under the Real Sports Scope YouTube channel, and you can talk to me through there if you got anything to say. More from Deion today.
Area right there, as far as the winning culture side. Last year, you guys started off strong. You did kind of fizzle out a little bit towards the end of the year, but I remember
that last comment, fizzled out towards the end of the year, started off strong. Then he goes from smiling, hey, to Deion's frowning. More from the soundbite.
Are you still talking about continuing to build that winning culture day in, day out? Do you feel the guys that you brought in this year are going to be able to help you fill those gaps?
I don't talk about culture that much, so that wasn't me. But I do talk about the consistency thereof of the goal and being consistent in whatever you do. So if you have a team that got to be a little more physically tough, you got to develop that. If you got mentally tough, strategically satisfying, and from the coaching staff's point of view, you got to understand that. But culture, everybody's on this word, and I don't understand this word one bit. And somebody got to help me understand what that word culture means. An environment, understanding of winning, you want that. I feel like I'm a winner. I know I'm a winner. So whatever I display, however I go about my job, my work, my business, my personal life, that's of a winner. That's all I know. I don't know anything else but that. So in due time, in due process, we're going to reach that goal, because we're going to get there, because I know I'm going to get there. And I'm not going by myself. Is that it?
That'll do it. Coach, thank you for your time.
Wow. God bless y'all.
You could see that he's getting a little agitated and, talking about me and all that. He still sounds like a player. That's somewhat of my criticism of Deion. He still hasn't made that full even though he's been a coach for years. He's still not made that full transition as Deion, the head coach. That's one of the knocks on him. That being said, yeah, Chad mentioned depth here. They lacked depth last year. The offensive line was the big bugaboo there for these guys. Yeah, this woman totally forgot about me. That's okay though, because I don't want to rush through this segment here. Anyways, FanDuel, they're supposedly having all this stuff. They got some more transfers. Schroeder's going to be eligible for the NFL draft here. He's going to be. He already is eligible. He said this is his senior year. They've had some really good offensive line guy. They had a defensive tackle that he's been high on that is playing with the team. So they're better on both sides of the line. They're going to have a better running game here. I see big things for this team this year. They're sitting at 5.5 wins. I think they'll probably, they won 4 last year. They'll probably surpass that. I don't know about getting in the 12-team playoff, but I do think that they're gonna go over FanDuel's 5.5 win total. I do think that will happen. And Florida, as I said last year, I really stand by this. Florida has the toughest schedule, the University of Florida, in the history. If I'll tell you what, these guys, I'm looking for my notes here because I actually missed. Okay. Florida opens up the season like August 30th against Miami. Okay. Miami's really pumped up here. That's going to be a tough game. They could beat Miami. I want to say it's at Gainesville. That's going to be a good one to start the season. Right off the bat, they're going to play Miami August 30th, Labor Day weekend, the start of Labor Day weekend. They got to play at Tennessee. That's going to be much tougher to play at Tennessee there. I think that Billy Napier is on a major hot seat, judging by the way they played last year. But look at it. Check out this schedule. So you got Miami. You're playing at Tennessee, LSU this year. Florida State, who didn't lose a regular season game last year, they lost in the playoff there, or their bowl game. Georgia, got to play Georgia every year. Texas A&M, Texas. I mean, Texas, I just said they're a national championship contender. You know, you've got 2 of the top 5 teams right there. Between Georgia and Texas, they're a legitimate top 5 teams. Okay. So, yeah, that doesn't count the playoff. I mean, they're probably a 3 or 4 loss regular season team, and that's being generous. They've also got to play A&M. I know LSU is going to be loaded. It's just no easy outs for this team. Oh, did I throw in Kentucky, who's beat them, twice in a row? Florida, wouldn't Deion Sanders, wouldn't he just love for the fact that that Florida State did not hire him. They did not hire him when that job came available a few years ago. You know, he wasn't ready at the time. That was before he took the Jackson State job. And he's got a chip on his shoulder about that. He went to Florida State. They play Florida every year now with this new schedule with Texas and Oklahoma. I don't know if they're going to play every single year. Now they're playing this year. I get a sense that they probably will, you know. And I just think that I think he'll take a job. I think Florida's going to come available, and his sons are going to go try to go to the NFL. I'm not sure about Shiloh, the safety. He may be a late draft pick. He may be undrafted free agent, but he's going to take that SC. He wants that media to be hyped. He's from Fort Myers, by the way. He wants that Florida recruiting. And I said it last year. I'm even more confident this year that that's going to come open. They're going to go after Deion. They need to make a splash. They missed the last 2 coaches. The last coach, they're going to miss on this coach with this incredibly difficult schedule. 3, 4, 5 losses. I don't expect a lot out of them. I didn't mention Arizona. Missouri. It's just a very difficult team, So either way, that's my big, bold prediction for Deion Sanders. Colorado can make a run in their conference. Yeah, possibly. It's the Big 12. They could slide into a playoff spot. Either way, even if they go undefeated and get in the playoffs, he's going to bounce. Remember, Keelan DeBoer at Washington went all the way to the national championship game. Got beat by Michigan, and he bolted for Alabama after Nick Saban retired. So I think that he's definitely going to be going to Florida next year, in my opinion. All righty then, and like I expected, this woman Temple Ann Lewis completely forgot about me. I should have gave her some more heads up. It's all good. I've got some other notes here. It's already 7:35, so doing pretty good anyways. All righty then. Let's see. Okay. Now, Caitlin Clark. Been talking about Caitlin Clark a lot, and you all remember what I said. Listen, this is what I said last week, 2 weeks ago. Excuse me. Here's what I said about Caitlin Clark a couple of weeks ago with that head coach there not giving her the ball. Not giving her the ball to finish games. She had a monster game today. Let me give you her stat line, then I'll play back that old quote that's got a lot of views, by the way. Caitlin Clark, 29 points, 13 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 steals, 3 blocks. She's the fastest guard in history to have 20 career blocks. Stat News says no player in WNBA or NBA history has ever recorded a game with those numbers. 29 points, 5 rebounds, 13 assists, 5 steals, and 3 blocks. She's playing on the defensive side of the ball, but she ain't got the right coach. She needs another player. This is me on June 28th.
Fire this lady. She's scared to death of ESPN. And get a guy like Gino Auriemma, who's got 11. He's got nothing else to prove in women's college basketball. And he's had nothing but highest of the highest praise for Caitlin Clark. Go out and hire Auriemma. He's not afraid of what people think of him. He's always gotten criticism. Go out, fire this lady. She's scared to death of ESPN, of the race hustlers out there. She's scared. Gio Auriemma don't care, and he's got the credentials to back it up. Go out and hire him and get you a star player. And this Chicago Sky with Reese and Clark led by Indiana, this could be, and plus it's in the middle of the summer.
Yeah. Yeah. And ironically, I think her name was like Christy Childs or whatever, the head coach there. She was trending all day. They played it like 12 o'clock noon Eastern to Christy Sides. She's still trending. That's the Fever coach. They played 11 a.m. I don't know why. It's kind of a weird morning game. Either way, Caitlin Clark made it, and Angel Reese made the both made the All-Star game. They didn't make the Olympics, but they did make the All-Star game. And, the great Gino Auriemma, nothing to prove. Again, 11 national championships. Why not go out and hire him? The owner also owns the Indiana Pacers. This guy's got deep pockets. Hire him, make a big move, go out and get another good player there and put her there with Caitlin Clark, and you will have something special. She's trending everywhere she goes. She is selling out arenas. They're moving arenas. Big things popping. And again, like I said in that soundbite, there's nothing else going on this year. We've got the Olympics, but normally during the summer, there's a dead zone there in July. And that would be a good hole for women's college basketball to be able to fill in the sports world there. Also, Also, interesting nugget here I found off the X app here about Micah Parsons here. Possibly there's going to be a training camp holdout with CeeDee Lamb. And I'll say this. There's a lot of guys I would move off of. Pretty much everybody on that team except for Micah Parsons. I think this is from ESPN. But also this was like a scout or something like this. One of these websites. This guy, Brandon Laurie, put this up here. The Cowboys' Micah Parsons ranked as high as the number 1 pass rusher in the NFL, averaged to number 3 ahead of this season here, and Parsons said he talked about that they said that he faced 167 double teams. And Parsons says, no, I don't think so. More like 500. And he says, ML can't find me, man. It's up for a year. Almost 2 weeks or something like that. He's talking a lot of trash here. I think Parsons is going to break the bank next year. He's eligible now. And here's a little Jerry Jones on Micah Parsons. Listen up.
Max and I
This is on
are pretty close.
This is on YouTube. Let me play
He
this
helps
real
me work.
quick. Jerry Jones here.
It's been
This is
over 25
ESPN.
years since you hoisted that Lombardi trophy. How do you figure out another way?
In Dallas, we don't have many wild varmints, and I'm sure we've got a lot of bobcats. I don't know if we have any mountain lions. But if you hear an eerie sound going across Dallas, that's me with my head in the pillow screaming at night.
Now, you got some mountain lions. One of them is Michael Parsons. But he's right. A lot of them may be bobcats after watching them get beat last year to Green Bay. Listen up. More from Jerry Jones.
Running away, wanting to get in a position to get a Super Bowl. I do want it. I'm tremendously disappointed that it's been as long as it's been since we've even sniffed at one. And every day, every decision, everything we're doing, all of this, in my way, it's a way to get us to a Super Bowl.
Let's talk about Micah Parsons.
He's obviously got great athletic skills, great hand-eye, but exceptional heart to go with it. Now you say, well, are we talking about Superman here? I'm a little biased, but I thought he should have been Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie. We've got a lot in mind for Micah for the future.
In other words, there was another interview. He's like,
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming,
we got to watch what we're paying everybody because we got Micah coming up. Chad says, I don't know if I would leave him as a coverage guy. I think they need to use him the way Dallas or the way Giants back in the day used Lawrence Taylor. He's a Lawrence Taylor caliber player. You can move him to the right. You can move him to the left. He can blitz up the middle. He's a noticeable player, to say the least. And so he wants to be, and he will be, between now and next year. This could probably happen this summer. I don't know. They've already picked up his fifth-year option. Going to pay him $20 million for that. Remember, he was a top 10 first-round draft pick. The Vikings, now mind you, Justin Jefferson, this is non-quarterback money, of course. Highest paid non-quarterback in the league. This is Justin Jefferson, 4-year, 140, 110 guaranteed. So you're going to be able to break that bank. So you're talking about 110 guaranteed. This is what I got from CBS on Micah Parsons. Will receive his option at defensive end, not as a linebacker. According to ESPN, He's wanting end money. He wants edge rusher money, and he should get edge rusher money. Parsons will make about 21 as a defensive end for 2025. If he plays under option, he will make 24 as a. I mean, so it's he's going to top that. He's going to top about 130 million guaranteed. He will beat Justin Jefferson. If I had to pick a big time edge rusher over a receiver, I would pick edge rusher. That's just me. I would pick that because I think that there's more depth at receiver. It's harder to find an edge rusher late. Max Crosby is the only one that I can think of. And he was a 5th-round pick that the Raiders ended up drafting. They lucked into him. And I think he may have had some off-the-field issues that he cleaned up. But it's very rare that you're going to get an edge rusher that's that caliber. Now, Pro Bowl levels, guys that slide to the later rounds. I want to say Stephon Diggs was like a 5th-round pick. Alamon St. Brown was a 4th-round pick. The star there that just got re-upped with he just got re-upped there with Detroit. All right. A.J. Brown, 2nd-round pick. Not a very high pick. 2nd-round pick. Okay. Same thing, DK Metcalf, 2nd-round pick. You can find more depth there at the wide receiver. If you Deebo Samuel was like a 3rd-round pick. So it's out there. It's out there. And I mean, there's been good players drafted in the first, don't get me wrong. But there's also been good players. CeeDee Lamb was a later draft pick. He's playing really well. Last year, he's playing right up there with the best of them. And they drafted him like the teens or something like that. So there's more depth there. If you have to move on from a player, move on from, like I said yesterday, I think Cincinnati should have moved on from T. Higgins and got some more help at the defensive end. Look at Tyreek Hill, two Super Bowls later. Now he wants more money with Miami. Okay, make sure and tune in tomorrow. This is a recorded interview because Scott Morganroth, his show is at the same time mine is. He started the South Florida Tribune, and let's see if this lady actually, see if she answered. He didn't even answer my thing there. Oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and erase that then. All righty. But you get my point. You get my point, folks. See if there's anything else here on the horizon. Okay, now tomorrow, not tomorrow, the next time I come on here, oh, by the way, the U.S. men's soccer team, I'll probably ask Carlos about this. They have fired their head coach, Greg Bierda. I guess they got put out early in this tournament here. I'll ask him about this. 44-17 in ties and 13 losses, 5 years. Not good enough. He has been fired, by the way. They went on and fired their – and some are saying it's not the coach. We just don't have the talent here in the United States. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. I know they've paid more attention to it here lately, But anyways, the NBA just signed a massive deal here, several $1 billion with multiple. Check this out, folks. Multiple networks. This is from NBA Central. Now, this will be 25 and 26. This won't be next year. The year after next, talking about the NBA. They will have Monday, they will have a game on Peacock, which NBC. Tuesday, they'll have a game on NBC. Wednesday, they can have an ESPN game. Thursday, they can have an Amazon game. That's sad for me because I'm a big TNT guy. I'm really going to miss TNT and Barkley. Barkley claims, air quote, claims that next year is going, this year, coming up in October when the NBA this is going to be his last year. I don't believe that. as far as maybe calling. I think he'll still do some temporary stuff. I think he will. Barkley will do podcasts and stuff like what I'm doing, live stream shows. He probably won't do all the traveling. But anyways, so Thursday, Amazon's going to get it. Friday, ESPN and Amazon's going to get games. Saturday, ESPN, Amazon. And then Sunday, NBA is coming back on NBC. So they're going to have games 7 days a week, according to this report. And all these different stations. You know, NBA is going global. Guys are going to be making Jason Tatum, once he comes up towards his option year, making $71 million. It's a big game. The product, it can need some improving there. But, hey, man, it's all about the numbers, and it's a global game now. You know, it is definitely a global game. So it's going to be spread out. Luckily for me, I have quite a few of these actual stations. I don't have Peacock though. Pickle says White fills in for Kawhi over Jaylen Brown. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. Jaylen Brown wasn't happy about that. But you know what? Jaylen Brown, second year of a major contract, $300+ million. He won the Finals MVP. What's this say about Kawhi Leonard? I mean, man, is he hurt again? I mean, I just don't know why anybody would sign him as a major starter contributor on a basketball team. He has done practically nothing as far as in-depth play deep in the playoffs with the LA Clippers. Derek White's play. Me personally, I wouldn't want to go to the Olympics this year, but yeah, I'm sure he's not too happy about that, but he's not too bummed out about it. Being a Finals MVP, he's got a ring in his pocket. He's got a great team coming back. I would just sit there and take the summer off and chill, but that's just me. That's just me. Also, Jonte Porter, remember the guy that was gambling on games? And this is Michael Porter, the Denver Nuggets brother who used to play in the NBA, got into some trouble for fudging his own numbers and all that stuff, taking the under on some of his stats. He is pleaded guilty and could serve 3 to 4 years in prison for his betting scandal. Of course, he's now been banned for life from the NBA. I think Michael Porter's other brother got killed, so he's had a rough year, Michael Porter Jr. there, the 6'10" guard here. So a lot of crazy news out of the NBA. I think they'll get all that stuff behind them. But if you're a Lakers fan, by the way, I was driving Uber the other day. Scott Quintez, if you're watching, said he was going to subscribe. I know you're a big Laker fan. He says he was high on this guy, Dalton Kincaid. Summer League, well, Bronny's not doing nothing. Now, he got a good layup earlier today, but I didn't see a lot of his points there. His first game, he had 4 points, something like that. Shot 22%. But Dalton Kincaid, Laker fans, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 7 for 18. Really good game there for the former University of Tennessee player there with the LA Lakers. They may have something in him. They very well may have something in that. Yeah, Dalton Kincaid, remember him from Tennessee? I always still think he's more of a, to me personally, he's more of a, like a streaky shooter. I don't see the consistency, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, you're playing with a guy like Bron. By the way, LeBron was voted as best player at the Olympics. Now, of course, maybe that's the United States player. Remember, a lot of the best players now are overseas. The Joker's not from the United States. Neither is Luka Doncic. So, I told you, folks, now she got back to me. And, of course, now it's late. Too late now. Not unless she's going to try to come on. Let's see. Try again next week. Okay. Let's see if she's trying to. Yeah, a little bit behind, my friend. Maybe I should have sent her something this morning. Oh, well. Either way, folks, if you like the show, share the show. If you didn't get a chance, Chad, watch that interview. Ken Norris, we talk about the new job that Nick Saban's taken as an advisor with the University of Alabama. Ken was a great interview. And again, another one, folks, it's a recorded interview coming up tomorrow, but it's not been seen before. I recorded this yesterday because Scott has to his show is coming on. He's got his own website here, the South Florida Tribune. He has been covering sports for over 40 years. He knows Bob Ryan. Of the Boston Globe here. He knows, I think he told me he knows, Dick Vitale, who's battling cancer. He knows him. So, Scott Morgenroth. I have to say that name slow. I'll end up messing it up. So make sure and tune in tomorrow, Chad. Got a very good interview, Chad. Do not forget that. You, Pickles, everybody out there. Other than that, I'll probably be back live Friday with Carlos, the Mad New Yorker, or we will record this show Thursday to be played on Friday if he can't make it on Friday because he's got a lot of stuff coming with his kids lately. So stay tuned. Next 2 days, a lot of good, solid sports scopes. Thank you, Chad. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you otherwise live here probably Friday or possibly Monday or Tuesday here on the Real Sports Scope. Either way, you'll have some very good programs ahead. Okay? Thanks, everybody.